There are conversations that shape how we live. Conversations that help us navigate challenges of life. Conversations that bring out the best in us. This is where we gather to help each other find the way and unleash our potential. Welcome to the Benjamin Zulu Global.
Psychologist, relationship coach, the one, the only
Benjamin Zulu.
Benjamin Zulu himself. The primary cause of conflict among married couples is not too much salt in the food, but actually matters revolving around finances. And this begs the question, why is it that it's a very common cause of conflict? The lack of it, spending habits, among other things that we're going to be looking at today right here on the Benjamin Zulu Global. My good name is Jonique and welcome to today's episode. Why are the common financial, or rather, what are the common financial issues that cause conflict among married couples? Yet the two have become one. I thought it should be easier.
Yes. A lot of times we say money makes the world go round, not love. So we are so materialistic that what we value more is money because it is purchasing power, it is influence, it is options more than love, care, commitment, and sharing our life. Many times it's because we do not do the mental baptism that we need in order to become one flesh. We come here with a lot of selfishness and separateness. Let me remind you that on the day you say I do, many of the things you only say I intend to do. You have not really done them right there. You have just commenced. Like one of those things is becoming one in every aspect. So why do financial conversations deteriorate to contention and conflict and separateness? First of all, women were not earning money and they were taught to be taken care of by men. Previously in that generation. So when they began to earn money, they still maintained that notion of what you earn is what we use, all of us. What I earn is mine alone. Many of them maintained that notion of it is his responsibility to provide.
Right.
Me, I earn, but it's for my spoiling. So they went on bring themselves to the union. And men took that to mean if I'm bringing everything or if you're not part of it, I don't then need to update you or just pay what I need to pay. The rest of the money I do whatever. Investments over there. So the first reason why it deteriorates because of lack of financial intimacy. Financial intimacy or financial oneness is when we unify who we are out there financially and money-wise to become one. Many people don't know whether this is necessary. They think money is another topic by side, don't have to bother it. We can still just have our life. Money answers everything. Money is, in this capitalistic world, the power, the purchasing power. And many times, somebody said, if you have enough money, 50% of your problems will disappear. If you can only have to manage problems of the rich people, your life will be better. Problems of managing the money, the assets, not looking for the money. So the one thing is we are not taught enough that for better, for richer, for poorer means we are becoming richer and poorer together. We are becoming one. And many of them don't prepare it. I don't know that it was a skit or it was a real person, a real thing when the vicar was leading the couple through the vows and said, I will love you with my everything, and he said including the phone. And the guy could not say the phone. And he's stammering there. Because a lot of times we are coming while hiding some things. The phone, the bank account, the money, we are keeping it away from our union. And we want to compartmentalize the marriage to only occupy this side of my life. This other side is mine alone. We want to bring only our partner to one aspect only. And we think we can pick and choose like a supermarket what we feel good about. In order to trust a person with your money and be open completely with your financial decisions, you need first of all to select a person who is trustworthy.
Yeah.
Our selection process has become so contaminated by carelessness and jumping ahead of the process. We don't do enough character analysis as long as we are fallen in love. We start indulging emotionally. We don't check how the person behaves in their financial life. Some of the reasons that obstruct you from trusting your partner are very deep. This person is always borrowing money. You have heard those people, they're always in debt.
Yeah.
They work to pay debts so that they can borrow again and pay and pay debts and what do you do with a person like that who cannot coexist with money? You could have seen it, you just didn't pay attention.
Yeah.
Or you are lied by society. They will change. You will teach them. Nobody is perfect. Money, a bad relationship with money is a deadly flaw. Another thing that makes people stay away from including the partner is when the partner lives beyond their means, and anytime they see money, they just imagine how to spend it. This is a mismatch. When you can't agree on financial philosophy, you don't belong together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody said, is it okay to marry a person from another religion? I'm saying it's because you have no religion. That's why you think it's possible. You're just
That's why you see the possibility.
You're just a honorary believer in whatever you say you believe. Anybody who believes, has conviction in their faith, cannot go as far as imagining. No.
That's true.
No.
That's true.
No. You are not loyal to any religion if you can marry somebody from another religion.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're just as an associate of that religion. You know, associate Christian?
Yes. By association, Christian by
Parents went there, you know, that's where I went to. I bear a Christian name. Okay, so I got child. But when you know, when you live by the tenets of that faith, it influences how you spend the money.
Right.
For example, you're giving 10% so faithfully. This person wondering why? How can you explain tithe and it's just a command from your book? Where do you even get the idea that you can do that? So the way you spend money and your philosophy around money touches from what you believe about life, what you believe about people, whether you are progressive or you're a settler, whether you are a hoarder or a risk taker, whether you're conservative or you're liberal. It affects your all. Money is an extension of your energy. Money is an extension of your influence, your energy, your power, your thoughts, your imagination. It's money that he said, our Lord, that where your treasure is, where your treasure and your heart go together. Your money and your heart go together.
Yeah.
They go together. In fact, the other day we were saying, if you want to know a person, whether they are cheating, there are two things to check. Now I want to add you the third one. We said movement and communication. Now the next thing is money. Where people are getting money from or sending it to. That's enough indicator, let me tell you. Eventually people exchange money. Eventually you see M-Pesa messages coming or going. Eventually you see unexplained deposits or withdrawals.
Yeah.
This is one way to know where their heart is. So when the person doesn't bring their money home, is their heart. So if you don't invite your partner into your money, it's only a matter of time before you drift apart. That's why we had parents who are not together. They were together, but they were not together.
Yeah. Because
the man had this philosophy of keep the woman away from your money life. Do you know when you are avoiding to disclose what you're doing with your money, you'll be tongue-tied. If today you are careful not to disclose anything about money to your husband, you won't talk. Because almost every story touches
on money. Yes.
There's a function we are going, how much are you spending? There's a clothes I saw, how much is it? I thought we moved to this house, how much is it? I thought money is infused in our life. So when you are keen to just, that's why people are just, they're married, but they're very tension. They should say anything, it will touch on money, they have to explain. This is why it's impossible to live as one when your money is not one.
Yeah.
But we are not told that. Do you know this unclaimed assets authority, how much millions of assets it has? Because people die when they never told their partner they have assets somewhere.
Yes.
Others don't even get to government. The caretaker.
Yes.
The old man doesn't come for rent. Nobody shows up there. They get news, the old man died. They wait, they store it there. 6 months go, nobody's coming. The guy starts helping himself. He goes to land, changes title. That is his property now. Even if he concocts contracts, false contracts that he bought. He bought the land, this and that. Or they can just hang around until even those who are left to themselves. Unclaimed assets is part of why when we hide our assets, when we hide what we are doing, we hide our movements, and we end up losing. And another thing that will make people not to trust their partner is when you are a people pleaser. You are helping your brother, helping your sister, sending money to your uncle, sending your money to your father, sending to your mom, sending to opening butchery for your dad. He eats all the meat. You open this business for your mom. The hotel, she gives food for free. Send the shop on credit. You get that boutique. She gives clothes to friends. Do you know what people pleasers is overwhelming? Let me warn you. You thought bad people are the nasty ones, eh? You thought the wrong people to date, to marry, are those who are very nasty or mean. Let me introduce you to another group. The ones who are too nice.
Yeah. They don't know when to say wrong. To say no, rather. Yes.
They're so likable, lovely, generous, but they're like that to everyone.
And people take advantage of that.
Your money can't even sit. Your family can't even. Do you know, just too much generosity can hurt your family so badly until we buy shopping, somebody comes, you give them part of it. Another comes, you give them part of it. We have this money, somebody says, I have this problem, send them the money. Our car, somebody you lend, they go, we can't even live our life. You bring your niece to come and stay here while they are organizing and not on the other. Your grandpa is going to hospital, is staying here. And your uncle is stopping over. It is the airport for your clan, where they land as they come to the city. This is our Airbnb. And if you marry from communal cultures like Kisii or Luo or Mbere, those who, the first cousin is the elder brother to everyone. Now you're married to them. And there are 52 cousins. And all of them are coming to college, arriving in the city, and this is your reporting point. And now you are a communal home. And without any notice, Shemeji at the gate. Shemeji. You know, what will you do? Too nice. Too nice. Who don't know when to say no, where enough is enough.
Yeah.
It is very hard to reject people because they're too good. If I tell you why you said no to that person, they're too good. You sound funny. You know, but when you realize they cannot. One guy told me, a child to the wife, to the brother-in-law, was in hospital and she insisted this uncle should be the one to take care of her. She has parents, she has that whole family, but him where he married, there's a brother there. That brother is married, and that the child, and then this. So he has stopped all his life to go take care of. And we were saying, some of these people, they see you're a good person, but if you don't know where to stop. And we're saying, bro, sometimes when you have to say no, it's very uncomfortable, but you can be good, but if you don't know when to prioritize your family, every day you'll have a request. Every day you have a request. Every day you have a request. And I liked that lesson, that being so aware that naturally I'm a giver. When you meet these people, I spoil the kids, I sing with them, I do. So when they have a problem, they have a party, I want that uncle so and so to come. So let's imagine that larger family is 100 of them, 50 of them, whatever. And every weekend some of them are requesting, when will you be there for your own son? The day you meet a person who was once an empath, a people pleaser, a nice person, and then they have evolved to know when to put limits, it's very pleasant to watch. Because it will teach me, what you do is you show up once.
Yeah.
You may not say a complete no, but you pass by once and say, Uncle, it's okay, but now that Uncle has to go to work, don't worry, Mom will be with you, and I'll see you soon. I don't know when, but I can't, and that's all. Do you know anytime you learn to limit people, they'll be disappointed, but you will have preserved yourself for the people who really matter.
Yeah.
And I hope you know those who demand from you the most are the ones who show up the least when you need them. Givers are not demanding. Are you aware of that? Can you learn this? And it will save you.
Yeah.
The people who have a lot of expectations on you usually don't give. The people who are liberal givers are also very understanding. When you are in situations they don't pressure, guilt trip. The people guilt trip pressure is already an indicator. The day you are in need, they won't be there. Entitled people are not givers. Givers are not entitled.
That's true. That's very true.
This is why people fear. And I'm trying to help you this because it's a complication. Marriage can have complications. So that in every other aspect you're working, you don't fight, you don't cheat, you can think together. But when it comes to money, it will drift you with time. I encourage you, if you want to do life with this person, face them squarely and tell them, we have been nursing an impossibility.
That's true. And I love something you've mentioned about priorities, because you find that understanding each other's financial priorities are really going to help you a lot in knowing if we are going the same direction. So how do you clearly establish the financial priority in this marriage? As much as you have your own priorities, I have mine, how do we establish a common ground?
Yes. So part of why we are going to find common ground is what I was asking you when you square up and tell them, we thought we can live this way. Parallel financial lives, secret financial lives, separate financial lives. But I realize the more we don't trust each other with each other's money, the more we are drifting apart. And whatever we have together will wither with time. The parenting will expire. Children will go. What shall remain between us? If we are not discussing anything around children, we begin to become roommates. If I cannot be so free to tell you what I saw here, what we are doing, the stories will dry up. The first common ground begins when you confront the problem as ugly as it is. Tell me, why don't you feel free to include me? Me, I don't feel free because you are too free with your mother. You're always telling her how much money we have and she starts infusing her ideas. And you ladies are very guilty of that. You're too free. We have one jackpot, mom. Imagine the prayers are working. And then your mom starts giving you ideas, sending me this money, I have this kind of problem. And then we cannot even plan. It's interference all over. People start now expecting to see what we shall do with them. Sometimes even the churches we go to, we have to be very careful when they know we have money. You may be made the chair of the project. The steering committee. We have a lot of conflict of interest when people know there's money. And they say, so that's a bother to you. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I wish we could tell people good news after the good news have come and expired. Not currently.
Yes.
You can share, but after 1 year. After we are done.
It will still be relevant.
After we are done investing. And then they see you driving a better car. You didn't tell us what happened. Sorry, some time back, some business went through, and because we had been a problem, we thought, by then, no money in your account. So nobody can say, give me a part of it. You have dodged. And then you tell them, sometimes I don't feel free telling you, because once I tell you I have 100K, you plan for 90K. Then I'm only...
And the 10% is tight, so I don't have anything.
I wish you would let me give what I'm comfortable giving at that time.
Right.
Women should contribute according to the season of life they are in. Let me repeat this. The woman's primary role is not profession. The woman's primary role is support. And she should support contextually where she is at that time. Women should not be given quota. 50-50 is not marriage. 50-50 is two males partnering. You be made a male when you have an obligatory quota to fulfill. You are not feminine, you are not soft, you are not protected, you are exposed, and you are given there. It's like a parallel roommates. It's very stupid for women to settle for 50-50. Many of them don't know it, but eventually they become hardened, tough. They forget about love. It's all about necessity, logistics. It becomes a logistics center. It's not a marriage anymore. You may create children there, you raise them logistically. This one pays. No, that means your dad. The other one, man. Your mama has not got money. Once she gets to pay, that's her duty. She will sort herself out. Instead of doing 50-50, just do 100-100. Be 100% woman and become 100% man. We are still collaborating, but it is not impersonal and logistical. I'm just fully given. The first duty of the man is to provide. The man does not get pregnant. The man does not go through the moods he has feeling. But to be a husband, you must be a man of leadership and a man of character. Listen to me, women. Stop appointing these creatures, male creatures, to become husbands when they don't even have the capacity. Husband requires what? Character and leadership. So the leader is always committed. He may have situations of life come. That time he will be flexible. So the first reason people, it disintegrates because they don't have financial intimacy. The second reason people, when financial discussions become argument, is when they have secret projects and separate development agenda. You're developing on your own direction. I'm developing in my own direction.
Yeah.
You are considering different priorities. I'm considering different we are not together. So I can't invite your opinions.
Yeah.
Janik, one of the things you can do as a couple, many couples who are happy in the world have agreed that having regular meetings to discuss where we are as a family in everything. It's one of the most beautiful things.
Right.
Money-wise, what are we doing? What are we hoping for? And then there's openness.
Yeah.
Openness. Once you know, even if you tell me how much you're expecting this month, I don't go ahead to budget it for you. In fact, I don't even need to ask you what total you expect. How much do you think you can pour into this? Let me repeat this, that a woman may be in a season where she's not earning anything, and it's the man to give her upkeep. Maternity leave, babysitting, seasons. Another time she's earning partially. She's working half-time while kids are now better off, but she's just doing part-time. She's earning, but all of it is consumed in her logistics. Women have a lot of small spending. When a woman is committed in her family, she bought a flower bed, bought this one, bought this, so built. So she really can't sit with money. A committed woman. A committed woman can't sit with money. It is always flying.
Yeah.
Actually, if you check our payments, you laugh. Because it's a funny thing here, the other one there. The other one there. A woman who is into her family has 100 things always to attend. Contribution on behalf of the couple. Another one, I represent my family there. You actually feel so covered on so many petty things.
Yeah.
If you find a man who has to be called because the 150 shillings for the funeral circle at home is now due. The other one for $1, the one for the other. Sometimes the guy will prefer to pay for a year. Can I clear the whole year? So that it's not a bother in my head, it's a tiny thing.
Yeah.
The woman is the manager now. She can manage the small logistics. She can organize this, and you should admire the woman's superpower. Have you noticed how women find a table full of cups, flasks, things, and she'll carry them in one trip? You wonder, where did she put all of them? Many things that you would have taken in several trips, and she'll do it while talking on phone here. How did you do that? So the same way they can carry many small things pertaining the family.
Yeah.
Serious there, the other person here, this event coming up, the other one doing, and just you know, when the season, what she's earning is consumed in those small logistics, the man says, my family is, thank you for managing that side. Then later the period comes when she can work full time. That time she can give this much. When you are doing things together, there's no division.
Yeah.
Again, people sometimes ask, do we set up a pool where you bring all your money there, the one you can bring, and then you spend from there? Or do we divide the responsibilities? Or do you pick a project? Or, and I say, the how is irrelevant. It will depend on your circumstances.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is the what and the why. I give this much for my family because we are working together. The how can vary.
Yeah.
Whether it's about, let me just come with the shopping mall, get the money, then withdraw. Sometimes you don't want to enrich these transaction banks by putting the money and removing. You know?
Yeah.
If that money is on your side, okay, pass by that side, come with this. If you care for each other, if you are united, the logistics will never become a stress. Never.
Yeah.
In fact, you'll be making sure the other person does not suffer.
You're covering each other.
You're trying to cover.
Yeah.
And when a person is not trying to duck, to hide, you guys will cut your clothes according, you cut your size, you cut what you can manage. You undertake projects that you know, this one we can push if we unite. You undertake it, and to close, I want to tell you that there are ways you can surprise the world by the kind of children you raise and by the kind of projects you undertake. You can surprise the world.
Yeah.
Because those are exclusively your domain. The values you teach the children, the way you raise them, how you guide them, how you do self-actualization. Parents carry so much credit for well-raised children, you can't imagine it.
That's true.
Your flag raises whenever, this kid is so well-mannered. I've been waiting to meet the mother, you're the mother. I think we forget the joy of writing a letter to the world through our children.
Yeah.
A child who is just kind, polite, a child who is content,
Yeah.
not rude, anything. They are keen, they are attentive, they don't quarrel, you don't find them in fights. Good spirited. When you see the child, you know this is a testament to the kind of parenting.
Yeah.
You begin to long to meet the parent. And the child gives you many values of that home. The language they talk, how they feed, how they dress. This child, you see things from their home. You can surprise the world by raising children who are just well done. And people keep wondering, there are some of your colleagues whom you envy because they don't struggle with what you struggle with. They launch into projects and their family jumps in, helps them. If they have a crisis, it's not a crisis for them. You learn after it's passed. Because they have such a supportive group.
Yeah.
And they say, my family came through, we're okay with that. You try to calculate if it was you.
Which side you'd be on. And that's very true. That's very true.
Particularly those who are blessed with large and united families. Like five siblings, and they are all well off.
Yeah.
This guy needs 3 million to go a visa or some funny things. You learn that and you thought it was a crisis, you're praying for them. They finished. Oh, where did you get the money? Oh, mom, this man. Will you pay them? No, we are family. Oh, okay, your family. You begin to admire the management the parents did. The day you meet those old people, you tell them, you know what? I belong to just meet you and say, you've challenged me without meeting me. Your children are friends. And they'll tell you, we taught them that they are family before they are other things. And we illustrated. When the parents are not friends, children can't be friends.
Yeah.
Even if children are going to be friends, it will be their own initiative. They don't learn it from parents. When they say you're collaborating, factoring each other, they learn unity.
Yeah.
When you exemplify unity and you're together, the photos they grow seeing, the sights. A friend told us that their 3-month-old daughter, 3 or 4 months, is already recognizing photos on the wall of the parents and laughing, smiling when they see. As early as months old, kids are taking in the environment. I don't know why we assume they don't. You can't hide energy. When you're happy, they see it. When you see a child and you have a scared face, they're also scared because they're very vulnerable. They can't protect themselves. They don't know what is coming. This is to say, you can unite and say, if there's no trust, there's no point. If we can't trust each other, include each other, there's no point.
Yeah. Very true, very true. I love something you said about children because there's a pastor who said that you can have boys and you can have girls, but it's very different when you have kind children, So, yes, you can say you have children, but you can only say you have children when you have kind children.
Particularly African men, when we are dogmatic about boys.
Yes.
Have you noticed we want a boy?
Yes.
So we can make you get 8 boys.
In the cost of looking for a boy.
But when you ask him how much of your investment is in those children, do you know how godly and heavenly it is when I see a man walking his children? Online videos are full of the love between dad and daughter.
Yeah.
And the daughter is competing with the mom. Sometimes they don't want to see you munchu. The child wants the same massage. They saw you giving mom.
Yes.
They want the same peck. And sometimes they ask you for them here. Daughters, when they are young, they're funny. how much of that? Surely, you can't imagine doing that to 6 children. I'm not saying it's not possible. That people can do it, but when I imagine how much I need to pour myself, now that I also have another life too, I want to give the number of children that I know I can be there. Imagine those who get triplets, twins, and they want the same thing at the same time. Take this, take the other. Lift this, lift the other. You know, now you carry your child, sometimes you carry your child, they're small, they're just 5 kg, but after you carry 30 minutes, you're very tired.
Yes. Yes.
But then they're very comfortable, that's their heaven, that's shoulder. You can't place them down. You can't even sit. Don't dare think of standing at one place. The child is doing tour now.
Yes.
Tour.
Yes.
Because I've been waiting for this. It's chaotic. You try to place them down, it's hell. Now, imagine 2. I really imagine and say, if you're blessed with it, I wish you luck.
Yes.
But sometimes I say, if you can invest in children and you hide it from the world, the two of you, and say, not that we are doing this the first few years because before the child is seen by the world, let's teach them to become genius at self-discovery. Let's teach them to become empathetic but also firm with self-love. Let's teach them to become believers in possibility.
Yeah.
I was asking my friends, who is going to raise presidents and politicians for us? Let's coach some of our children to be leaders. Wherever they take the leadership, it's okay. If they take it to corporate, it's okay. If they find it good in politics, it's okay. But let's put leadership. I realize it's not a political element, it's just leadership.
Yeah, yeah.
When you put the leadership, the child will see which context in that day
Right.
fits them. To say, instead of fighting over money, instead of hiding each other, let us lay it bare so that we can serve destiny, the next generation, eternity, by starting a generation of well-raised children. When they see how they can just get money from either of us, and there's no fight over it.
Yeah.
If I call mom, I don't get mom, dad will send the money. And because the child has learned honesty, they don't like, dad already sent, please don't send. They will do the same with their brother. They will do the same. They will expect that in marriage.
Yeah.
They carry that forward. So the price is my ego. To tame my ego to start a generation of people who have a healthy relationship with money. Yes.
Very true. And allow me to get an extract from this book, Mastery, The Psychology of Personal Success. And this is from chapter 7, Master Personal Finance Basics. And this is the behavior of over-budgeting in personal finances. So personal finances are not about behavior than budgeting.
Yes.
If you tend to spend impulsively or borrow carelessly, addressing your emotions and mindset is crucial rather than simply focusing on creating a budget. And when I look at this, I see that your own personal interaction with money, you know, you bring your own personal interaction with money, I bring my own personal interaction with money. So we need to find a place in the middle.
Many times is that do I operate from scarcity or abundance? When I operate from abundance, I may not be careless with money,
Right.
but I'm not fear-driven. I won't buy one piece of onion. I'm not saying there's a problem to buy. Yet I have 1,000 shillings, and I'm forcing the poor seller to go all over the market to remove 5 shillings from the 1,000 because I just want. If the one who is frying the onion burns it, we are doing. Somebody has to go back. I bought only one matchbox. It got finished in the middle of the night. Now the matchbox, borrow the neighbor. Please, you have 2 sticks. So, but it's to say that philosophy was given to me by my mentor, saying, Robert Greene also confirmed it. He said you should try to defeat one problem so decisively that it will leave you enough peace to fight others. And psychology says, when you are stressed about a mosquito, and also you are stressed about the car, mosquito is just hovering under a car, a bigger problem. That stress occupies the same amount of space in my mind. So this problem, mosquito problems, you should beat them to take them far away,
Yes.
to leave you space to handle what can be hauled away immediately.
Right.
So if I tell you, for example, at home, we need a new piece of land, and also we also need serviettes. You should first get many serviettes to remove them from the discussion,
Yes.
to target the bigger thing that takes longer to get.
Yeah.
You get the psychology.
Right.
Just learn to operate from abundance And it will help you not to be hesitant and afraid. Don't operate with tank empty, so that your car always has to show you the red light. Then you're in a crisis looking for the next. Or you say, I know my car. Even when it's like that, I can go 10 kilometers. Then it bends somewhere accidentally. Then it stops working, or there's traffic, and you're inconvenienced. You know.
Yeah.
What about because it's consuming the same? You can still buy from the full tank. It is still the same. Honestly, there is not just more panic when you buy from empty.
Yes.
And when you have an appointment somewhere and you're trying to ask the border guy to carry you and he has no money, bring what you have with fuel first. He's waiting. But there's a guy there with full tank who is saying, where? We go, get another customer, go. He is ready for, he's casting his net wide. Money is about what you believe about life, whether it is abundant or it is scarce. And lucky for you, it's not fixed. It's not cast in stone. You can learn. Yes.
Yeah. And in this same book, I won't go through it because of time, but it has something to do with good debt and bad debts.
Yes.
Which is very interesting. And maybe in closing, I'd like for us to just talk about debt, because you find that there's some people who, when it comes to taking debt, especially in marriage, they don't consult you about it. So you just find out somehow that we are in debt.
Financial dishonesty is a deal breaker.
Yeah.
Once you find it once, sit them down. Tell them, no, we are together now.
Yeah.
If you drill a hole, we sink all of us.
Right.
And money is like clothes. When you are in debt, all of it's like you are naked. People are gossiping and shaming us, and they may not know. So when you feel like you have a pressure, sometimes they are borrowing to pay another loan. They did not tell you. They pay another to pay another. So at some point, let's come clean, all of us.
Yeah.
This year we can handle the mess, but then avoid getting into mess again.
Yeah.
When a person wants to cooperate with you, you can't go the long haul. Stop imagining it.
Yeah.
When a person won't learn, and they're addicted to gambling, addicted to borrowing, addicted to spending, impulse buying, people pleasing with money, borrowing for others even borrowing for their cousins.
Yes, they're there.
So, when they can't hear you, this marriage is not workable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, very true. Very well said. And I love this book. It has a vast nuggets of wisdom where your own personal psychology is concerned, and also just mastery. I mean, as it says, mastery. It's absolutely awesome. Please grab yourself a copy of this book and get to master the psychology of your personal success, and of course get to assist others as well. That's all the time we had for you today. Till next time.
There are conversations that shape how we live. Conversations that help us navigate challenges of life. Conversations that bring out the best in us. This is where we gather to help each other find the way and unleash our potential. Welcome to the Benjamin Zulu